Yo, everybody. Well, this one's for Mr. Marky Mark Cameron and the old XR, the PP. So a lot of people getting bullish on XRP this cycle, and for a good reason. We've got a decent pump, but I mean, anyone that's been following crypto for a long time will just be aware that it's never performed, and it's never really performed in since this run way back in January 18, and this is the full history here of XRP. But you can see it got an incredible run way back in the day, 2017, and ever since then we've had actually a series of lower highs, right? Until you could argue until now, or this breakout of this structure. So, and this has happened on the back of Mr. Trumpy Pumpy getting into power, and the SEC being fucking overhauled, and Mr. Gary Gensler being booted into touch fundamentally. So this cycle can be different, but it's still to be kind of proven. So if I quickly do this to give just an illustration of why, if we put Bitcoin down here on, let's get the index. This is the full history of Bitcoin alongside the full history of XRP. Let's get it on the weekly as well. Okie dokie. You can see it's a very different chart. You'll have to excuse all my fibs, which I've had running forever and ever. And this moving average as well. Get that away to fuck. Clean up the chart. Let's try and make it line up with XRP in terms of time. So you can see the two lines are now kind of in alignment. So this is the bull run back in December. Bitcoin, this is the high. On this scale, it's difficult to grasp how high Bitcoin went because it's so high now, so you're going to have to kind of take that into account. But if you look at XRP, it's exactly the opposite fundamentally to Bitcoin. So, we've got higher highs fundamentally across the multiple cycles, and, we still have lower lows on XRP across the multiple cycles. So, the argument is it going to run this year or is it not going to run this year? And there are, there's bullish catalysts. It has to be said. It's always had bullish catalysts on XRP. It's going to be used by countries for payment systems, yada yada yada. This is the kind of story. But I mean, it certainly looks like a very convincing pump at the moment. So if people are interested in, or every newbie's got fucking XRP, and they're hanging on to their bags for fucking ever and ever and ever. Meanwhile, everything else is outperforming XRP. Maybe this time's going to be different, right? So we need to kind of take that into account and kind of follow the money, so to speak. I feel. Now, I had some fibs. I think we're going to come into a decent bit of resistance quite shortly, and it's pretty obvious it's the last high here, right? So structurally, oh fuck that, get that away to fuck. Let's just put a simple line, and the likelihood is it goes straight through this last previous high is unlikely. Maybe one more pump on Bitcoin to just over 100k, 105, 6, 7, even 110k, and then probably a big market-wide correction. So buying XRP now is not the best idea. You don't buy green candles, okay? Whatever happens, don't buy green candles. There's a million other opportunities out there that are going to give you better returns on your investment. So what we want to wait for is a pullback. Now let's assume that XRP runs back up to that previous high. I think it might stop around about 175 to be honest, but anyway, that's hearsay. You can buy on the next pullback. So let's say it taps out on the previous high in the last cycle. You were looking for about 20%, maybe 30% correction. So that's going to bring you back down to here again, right? So that's 34%. But roughly, I would argue the 0.5, the 382 and the 0.5 is going to be the buying area on the next big correction. So patience is required here. Don't ape on XRP just out of the blue and into a green candle. I mean, yes, technically over time or in the rest of the cycle, which may have best part of a year to still run, it's going to go up. But I just feel for the best return on your investment, you can get a cheaper price, or you can buy here and add a little bit on the next step. It doesn't really matter if you're holding on a spot position. That means you're just investing and you're just waiting for the long term. It's not really a big deal for whether you buy here or whether you buy 25 cents lower or something like that. But for me, I want to get the best entry and I want to get the most from it. So I would wait. I would just be patient here, wait for the pullback, and just buy the pullback. You'll find it gets bought up pretty quick. So whenever the big correction comes, and it's imminent, probably into the beginning of December, for the first 2 or 3 weeks of December, we get a nice correction on Bitcoin. 20% is on the cards. So depending on how high it gets, we'll see. So yeah, that's my thoughts on XRP. Hopefully that has helped, and it'll be a winner either way. So yeah, it's just, as I say, it's your choice in the meantime.